Up to 2003, I did not think I would be HIV positive because I'm a pastor, and I thought that HIV had to do with people that are out in the streets. And because of my denial, I actually lost 4 children and a husband before I got tested. And when I was told I was positive, 2 things happened. The first, it was a relief. I now knew what I was up against. The second, it was a fear. What will others think about me?
I would say that our pastors need to understand that HIV/AIDS is a disease just like any other disease. If we take it from that, we may be able to help people and accept them.
My experience in church as a positive leader has had 2 turns. One, there were those that appreciated the fact that I came out in the open. But on the other hand, there are those that felt that that was not supposed to be. I remember a pastor approached me, a leader approached me and said to me, "You are a disgrace to the body of Christ. We preach about a God who heals, a God who is powerful. And you, as a pastor, goes out in the public and tell people you're HIV positive?"
I think it's high time that pastors sit down and realize that how much people we are burying every day. We are there at the graveyard, always burying people. And little do we go deep inside to see what is causing all those deaths, unless we embrace even those people. If we embrace those people with HIV, even we are going to combat stigma and discrimination.
Now, I would like to encourage all reverends and pastors from different churches that it is better to talk about sex in the church. Because if we hide in the church, it means all our people will die of HIV. And because of that, it means the church will have no people.
I disclosed status to most of our members after the death of my husband. Because traditionally in Africa or in Zambia, you have to obey your husband when he tells you not to disclose, though I disobeyed at one point where I disclosed to my parents. I started with my colleagues, the pastors that I was serving with. Somehow they had an idea. They said, we thank God that you have come out, and then they embraced me and gave me the support. And then later on, I went to a district overseer. I told him my status. And then he also encouraged me. I would say from the pastoral team, they are all loving and kind. They are very supportive.
It is important and it is good to have HIV positive members in the church, even to have pastors who are HIV positive in the church, serving the congregation, because that is the only way you can show the love of God to people, the love of God to nation, because the church is there to educate the nation, to educate the society, and it is exemplary. It is a body which people think our hope is inside the church.
The church should take a positive approach, try and help the people that are already affected and infected by HIV/AIDS. So I think the church has got a big role to play in the fight against HIV/AIDS. And using our local community radio station, we are able to communicate. We have healthy programs that are aired through that station. And so through those programs, we are able to sensitize our people.
So what we need to do is, first of all, let us support all the people living with HIV, especially the church. The church has to be number one, including the reverends and pastors. They have to be number one, coming on forefront, loving us, caring for us. Because the church is the place where you can find joy and peace. And the church is acting on behalf of the Lord and Jesus Christ. So if you cannot find peace from the church, it means we are dead already.
pastors can contribute in a small way to the people of God, changing their minds to say, you can go for a test. Actually, you should go for a test. This is the person we look up to, but look, he has gone for a test. He knows his status. And I remember I said that in the church, and then somebody, one young person, raised their hand and said, we heard you, Pastor, you were saying you did HIV tests. Why would you do HIV tests? What have you done? And I said, no, I did that because, one, I needed to know my status. But secondly, it's because even in my history as a person, I've never been a righteous person. All the things that people are doing, I did them. And so I'm not going to stand here and pretend like I'm this innocent person. I married being a virgin. I was not a virgin when I got married. I had done a lot of terrible stuff, and the only reason I don't have AIDS now is the grace of God. It has got nothing to do with me being better than anybody else. I could have contracted the HIV virus. And so that's why I needed to go and do the tests.
Not many church leaders are going to test for their status, to know their status, because they are afraid that if I can be tested positive, then they will say that maybe I am not a faithful Christian, I am not a faithful church leader. But with me, I take that as an opportunity, because once you have known your status, it is better for you to plan for your future, to plan for your family. And it is when you can live a positive life. But without knowing your status, it is dangerous.
Have yourself tested and let your members know. Because by so doing, you encourage the flock. And then if we are to eradicate HIV, we have to be a role model. You know, when the Bible speaks of being the salt and the light, it simply means we are there to give hope. We are there to give, to preserve life. We are there to save people. Let's give hope to the hopeless. People can't speak out because of us. We are busy criticizing and judging people. But if we stop judging and embrace them, I think we are going to eradicate HIV.
So I think pastors need a different theology altogether. A theology of love, a theology that does not propagate punitive action by God. Because I believe God's standards are very low. You know, if the standards of God were the standards of the church, no one would actually be saved. Because the church is so, so rigid and so, it moralizes everything.
So pastors need to have the heart of Jesus Christ. Because he said, I come for those who are sinners. And you are there, as a pastor, you are there to help us to carry on the burden, to carry together the burden, to carry on our faith.
I have gone for VCT, and I have experienced some transformation after VCT. The time it takes for one to wait for the results is a transforming time, a time of reflection. And even when you are told you are HIV negative, it impacts you to a point that you would not want to do anything that would cause you to be infected. Going for your VCT, for your test as a pastor, sobers you up. Not only that, it shows that you are human to the people who are looking at you. You are human before your congregation. And that if they have a human pastor, they can approach this human pastor, they can relate to this human pastor, and when they have got issues of HIV and AIDS, they will approach you and be able to relate with you on that level, and that's how they will be helped. That's how a pastor can be a role model.